supposed to transcribe the word perfectly into a 4-page booklet. Passing grade was 70%. As the words became incrementally more difficult, my classmates wrote in rounded cursive, while I stumbled and stuttered. By the 15th word, rubber eraser crumbs covered my page. Every year I failed, and every year I was stuck inside at recess with my corrections. I knew the meanings of the words, but they got caught and jumbled when I tried to sound them out. Even then, I wanted more than anything to write poems, stories, maybe even a book. Achieve. Definitely. Gauge. Without spelling these words, I had no future as a writer. Looking back at a life filled with tests, I can see that the most difficult ones were the ones I assigned myself. The 3:10 marathon time. Fail. The PhD in English. Pass. Ironman Lake Placid. Pass. I was a harsh grader, my own worst critic. These tests had only one right answer. I had to win. Being the fastest or getting the highest grade was the only metric that told me I was good enough. In December of 2014, I began the application process for the Philadelphia Police Academy. The admissions tests were endless. The Nelson-Denny reading test, the physical fitness test, the personal data questionnaire, the background check and interview, the drug tests and physical, the polygraph, the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory Test, MMPI, the psychiatric evaluation, and the chain of command evaluation. These tests swallowed 2+ years of my life, all just to make it to day one of the academy, where the commissioner told 90 candidates we had passed the ultimate test. Before the first day at the academy, if asked, I would have said that the ultimate test of my life was motherhood, creating 2 human beings from scratch, breastfeeding twins. Maybe something as seemingly mundane as trying to spoon organic squash into a turtle-loving toddler who spent mealtimes with her head retracted inside her shirt. In the predominantly male academy, motherhood was the furthest thing from a test. It was an aside, an inconvenience that made candidates late, or a gift to be wrapped in saccharine rhetoric about protecting the unborn innocents. On day 1, the police recruits were the lucky ones, the fortunate few. We had made it. We had passed all the tests. For every one of you sitting there, the commissioner said, there are 15 people who failed, who wanted to be here but couldn't cut it. Assuming that the commissioner wasn't exaggerating, with a 6.25% acceptance rate, it was as difficult to get into the Philadelphia Police Academy as it was to be admitted to Princeton, 6%. Or Yale, 7%. When I was admitted into the academy, I still didn't understand the purpose of these tests, whether the department was trying to weed out the bad candidates or admit the good. There is a difference. At each milestone, the department re-emphasized the possibility of failure, and I, being a type A competitive person, refocused my goals. I became so caught up in the hope of advancing, I forgot the purpose of the journey. The academy admission process focused on tangibles, blood tests, hearing tests, running times, avoiding the subjective part of test, the part that measures how good or strong someone is. While the tests were based in concrete metrics, the rhetoric surrounding them was not. If we passed, we could be the difference, standing proudly together in our shiny dress uniforms. The sheer number of tests suggested a complete dispersal of responsibility, the refusal of any single person or entity to be held accountable for admitting a candidate, to the point where the department relied on the polygraph, a test considered so fallible and obsolete it is no longer admissible in courtrooms. Throughout the recruitment process, ethical questions were just another metric, with a single desired answer. In my background interview, my psychological evaluation, and the MMPI, I was asked what I would do if I saw a superior officer steal a bottle of water from a neighborhood store. I studied for these tests.